It's a nightmare scenario, one that will strike fear in the heart of every parent. We are at the grave of Christina Kett. Christina Kett was the mother of Christine Kett. Let's go back to Dayton, Ohio. The year was 1867, January 11th to be exact. It was a snowy day in Dayton. Christina, the mother, was gone and out of the house. Nobody had any reason to think that anything out of the ordinary would be taking place that day. That was until the fresh and pure snow on the ground was violently broken up by fresh, bloody footprints.
Forgotten by time, lives ended by the hand of someone else in cold blood. We finish their stories because they were not able to finish their own. You're watching Vintage Murder, a Whit Docs series.
We are at the grave of Christina Kett, the mother of Christine, and she was left to piece together what had taken place in her home. The bloody tracks that were found in the snow matched the blood that was found upon the fence. A horrific scene was found inside of the house. The body of Christine was found with multiple lacerations from some sort of sharp object. There was a discharged firearm found by her body with possible evidence that she had grabbed the weapon to make an unsuccessful attempt to defend herself. The assault was brutal. It was determined that the sharp object was actually an axe that she took to the head. And upon further inspection, a shot wound was found in Christine's body, and the firearm was arranged in such a fashion that it appeared the assailant arranged it to make it look like she had taken her own life. But the lacerations and the injuries painted a completely different picture. It was clear that Christine could not do that to herself. It had to have been done by someone else. But who? There were absolutely no clues and no leads to the case. Christine's brother found her lying on the kitchen floor, and being the first one on the scene, he was questioned, and he seemed to have a decent alibi. He was simply at work. It was a little later that Christina, the mother, arrived at the house. With the commotion going on, she just knew something was wrong. A mother's instinct, perhaps. It didn't take long for detectives to rule this a murder. There was just no other way that it could be anything else. There was some evidence, however, to try to help piece this together. The focus came on the weapon, and when police found out that it belonged to Christine's brother, they narrowed in on him as a prime suspect. The only problem with that line of thinking was that his alibi did check out. He had indeed been at work that entire day. Christine had a boyfriend, and her mother would point towards him. She absolutely insisted that it was him. Again, no evidence could put the crime on the boyfriend. In fact, the crime couldn't be pinned on anybody. The idea was floated around that this could have been totally random, just a random crime and a random murder. There were absolutely no leads, and the case was closed. After all the speculation and after all of the investigating, case closed. A cold case, unsolved. Christina and her son would move away from the area. Christina carried the weight of what had happened to her daughter for the remainder of her life, and 17 years later, she was dying. She had sent for her son one final time to give him one final goodbye. As he came to visit his mother one final time, she left him with one final message, one last thing that she wanted her son to know. I did it.
Forgotten by time, lives ended by the hand of someone else in cold blood. We finish their stories because they were not able to finish their own. You're watching Vintage Murder, a Whit Docs series.